What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Exposure. Hey, this is going to be a little bit different opening today. In honor of Memorial Day, I wanted to pay some kind of tribute to those who paid everything so that we could have something here in this country. And with the amount of sincere and utter gratitude that I have, I just didn't know if words could be enough. So in honor of all those brave men and women, I thought I would do a moment of silence. If you'd like to join me, you can. All right, thanks everybody. We're going to get moving on now. So, as we get into this one, if you haven't seen this dereliction of leadership that we have in this country right now, it's truly disgraceful. And it reminded me of an op ed I just read by General Michael Flynn. This message from General Flynn is so poignant for the moment of time that we are in right now. It was just too good to pass up. I had to read it to you. You want to hear it? All right, check this out. This Memorial Day, let's stop complaining and start doing. This is going to get you motivated. All right, let's read it. It's a simple fact of life that people like to complain. If you don't believe me, just watch the evening news. Even when we say we don't, each one of us has an innate desire to lament everything that is wrong with the world. Sadly, this problem is nothing new. In Scripture, we read how the children of Israel complained that they were going to die of starvation in the wilderness. The Lord answered in spite of their attitude by miraculously providing them with a daily supply of food that tasted, quote, like wafers made with honey, end quote. Incredulously, it wasn't long after that the Israelites were complaining that the Lord's miraculous all-you-can-eat buffet was not good enough for them. I understand the allure of this mentality. I can complain with the best of them. Guilty as charged. Yet, Patriots can't pretend that our complaints alone will solve America's problems. If we are going to see meaningful change, we must be willing to take action. Now, this is where he starts getting into the meat of this op-ed. Buckle up. In his essay titled The Way to Wealth, Benjamin Franklin said, "Friends and neighbors complain that taxes are indeed very heavy. We are taxed twice as much by our idleness. Let us hearken to good advice, and something may be done for us. God helps them that help themselves." Franklin not only wrote these words, but lived them too. He was a patriot, willing to take action when others were only willing to complain. That's so spot on, isn't it? We send out these tweets, we write these posts, and we think it's going to change the world. Meanwhile, they're infiltrating the mainstream media, big tech, and indoctrinating our children as early as kindergarten. All of our founding fathers exemplified that same spirit of tenacity. But I find it much more encouraging to know that they made a way for us to turn our complaints into action. In the First Amendment, we have secured a right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. These words mean that American citizens have a right to not only air our complaints, but to do so with the understanding that we demand action from the proper authorities. The proper authority to petition will vary depending upon the grievance, but the inalienable right of the citizen remains true regardless. And I think this is where we get hung up as everyday Americans. We've been conditioned ourselves. We've been conditioned to think that somebody else is going to do it for us. It's called the bystander effect. You see an accident happen in front of you and you think, I don't need to stop. I'm sure somebody else will help them. And in that moment, we give up our power to make change. We say someone in leadership is going to do it. I'll wait for that person. And what we've done by doing that is shirked our responsibility to make change within our sphere of influence. Exercising this right is a patriot's responsibility, a fact highlighted by the Memorial Day we commemorate in just a few days. As we memorialize the sacrifice of countless brave men and women who gave everything to secure our liberties, empty complaints should taste like sawdust on our lips. We have no excuse not to honor their courage with our actions. Bang! That's something we can teach our kids. We have a responsibility to teach the younger generation, and ourselves for that matter, that the sacrifices of those who came before us and the courage it took for them to do it is worth acting against the grievances against us in the very least. And of course, General Flynn finishes it off with action steps. If you don't know where to begin, start small. That sentence alone is a life lesson. The journey to 1,000 miles starts with one step. Raise the American flag for Memorial Day and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with your family. If you can't get a flag that quickly, Flag Day is just around the corner. Once you've done that, find good groups of active patriots in your area. Finding a group of like-minded people and getting involved with them is just so valuable to our mindset, our morale, and eventually leads to us sharing ideas on how to take action moving forward. Internet forums can never take the place of the camaraderie that comes with local patriots acting together to better their community. I also hope you will listen to the first episode of my new podcast, where I dig deeper into why Americans should stop complaining and start doing. You can find the podcast exclusively at americasfuture.net. where you can also leave a donation to support our ongoing work. Sincerely, Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn. I couldn't have said it better myself. He is spot on, and that is exactly what we need to do. If we're going to fight against this critical race theory junk, if we're going to make the bonds of the nuclear family stronger, and if we're going to raise up the next generation of God-fearing Americans that don't see color and find unity in just being Americans, then the small action steps we can take up that hill could one day lead to us climbing a mountain together. In Ecclesiastes, it says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. There is strength in our numbers. We just got to find that courage to do it. All right, guys, thanks for indulging me on this one. I know it wasn't very newsy, but this is my ultimate passion. I want to see this country united once again. That's it. And if you're watching this, I know you do too. So let's take those small steps General Flynn mentioned together. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.